While I was in the hospital fighting for my life, my wife of 4 years moved her ex into our house and told me I could sleep in the garage when I got out. So I took my brutal revenge. Now she is begging for me to come back. What's up, Reddit? I woke up in the ICU with a shattered spine and collapsed lung. Called my wife. She answered on the 7th ring and said, "Honestly, Gunner, either die already or get better fast. This limbo thing is really inconvenient for my life right now." Then she moved her ex-boyfriend into our bedroom, threw away my clothes, and told me I could have the garage apartment when I got released. Here's the whole story. Grab some popcorn because this gets wild. I, 33 male, work as a freight operations manager at a major logistics hub outside Memphis, Tennessee. Started driving delivery trucks at 19. Worked my way up through dispatch, route planning, then management. Currently supervising about 70 drivers and operations staff across 2 shifts, pulling just under 6 figures when you count bonuses and overtime. The money came from grinding. I worked doubles, weekends, holidays, whatever it took. Slept 4 hours some nights, ate cold pizza and truck cabs, spent my 20s building something while everyone else was partying. By 30, I owned a house outright. Paid cash, $240,000 for a 3-bed, 2-bath place in Bartlett, Nice neighborhood. Good schools, quiet street. 15 years of saving every dollar got me there. I drove the same beat-up Ford Ranger from age 17 to 29. Lived with my uncle after high school. Ate ramen and eggs, never went out, never bought anything I didn't need. My uncle Leon raised me after my parents died in a car wreck when I was 14. He was a long-haul trucker, gone most of the time. But he taught me one thing real clear. Own your stuff outright. Never owe anyone anything and protect what's yours. Like your life depends on it. I listened. So by 30, I had a house, a paid-off 2020, F-150, 60 grand in savings, solid retirement accounts, and 0 debt. Everything in my name. I met Tia in 2018. I was 28. She was 30. She seemed normal. No crazy ex-drama. Drove a practical Camry. Talked about budgets and responsibility. After watching my uncle go through 2 divorces, normal sounded perfect. We dated for 2 years. She moved in after 18 months. I kept the house solely in my name. Got married in 2020. Then in 2022, the house needed work. Foundation repair, new roof, HVAC upgrade, 50 grand worth of renovations. My savings took a hit. Tia offered to help with her savings. We refinanced to cover the gap. That's when her name went on the deed. Uncle Leon would have beaten me with his belt if he'd known everything changed after that. November 2024, Thursday night. I was doing final checks before my shift ended, walking through our main distribution floor, making sure the overnight crew had everything they needed. One of our newer guys was repositioning a loaded pallet with the forklift, industrial equipment, heavy steel parts, about 1,800 plowon total. The pallet was stacked wrong. I saw it immediately. Weight distribution was garbage, everything leaning. I walked over to stop him before someone got hurt. Never made it. The load shifted hard, forks tilted, the whole thing came down directly on top of me. 1,800 pounds of steel, momentum, and physics. I didn't have time to escape. Heard my spine crack before I felt anything. Then everything went white with pain. My back just shattered, 3 vertebrae compressed. Then the weight hit my chest, ribs snapped, lung collapsed, couldn't breathe. Just laid there under crushing weight while everyone panicked. Paramedics showed up in 9 minutes. Felt like 9 hours. Emergency surgery that night. Stabilized the lung, put rods in my spine, dealt with the ribs. Doctors told me later I should have been paralyzed, should have died on the warehouse floor. Woke up 4 days later in ICU. Everything hurt, breathing hurt, existing hurt. Couldn't move without feeling like I was being torn apart. Machines everywhere. Tubes in places tubes shouldn't go. First thing I did was call my wife Tia. She answered on the 7th ring. What? Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "Thank God you're alive." Hey, it's me. I'm awake. I'm stable. Doctors say I'll be here a while, but I'm going to make it. Silence. Long silence. Why are you not here? She sighed like I just asked her to drive to Alaska. Gunnar, gas is expensive right now. That hospital is 40 minutes away. And honestly, you're not exactly priority one right now. I thought she was joking. Tia had dark humor sometimes, inappropriate timing, but whatever. Then she kept going. Honestly, Gunnar, either die already or get better fast. This limbo thing is really inconvenient for my life right now. We've got things happening here. I can't just drop everything because you decided to stand under a falling pallet. I heard laughing in the background. Male laughter, deep voice, not the TV. Then Tia hung up. I stared at the ceiling for maybe an hour. The morphine made everything foggy. But that phone call was crystal clear. My wife just told me to hurry up and die. And there was a man at my house. My cousin Jordan called that afternoon. She's a paralegal, lives about 30 minutes from my house. We've been close since we were kids. She's 3 years older, sharp as hell. Saw through Tia from day one, but kept quiet for my sake. Gunnar, I drove past your place this morning. There's a beat-up silver Nissan Altima in your driveway, not Tia's car. Who drives a 20-year-old Nissan? No idea. At 10 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, Jordan's voice got hard. I pulled up your joint account like you asked me to set up access for emergencies last year. There's money missing. A lot. How much? 9,000 in 3 weeks. Charges at jewelry stores, high-end restaurants, designer boutiques, hotel in Nashville last weekend. Gunnar, what the hell is going on? That's when it all clicked. The male laughter, the dismissive tone, the missing money, the Nissan in my driveway. Tia wasn't stressed. She was busy running around while I was working my butt off to keep food on the table. Jordan, can you do something for me? Keep an eye on the house when you can. Don't make it obvious, just drive by. You think she's cheating? I know she is, Jordan called back that evening. Nissan's still there. It's in your garage now. I saw the door close. Someone moved it inside. My garage, where I kept every tool I'd ever bought, where my workbench lived, where I'd built half the furniture in that house. A week later, Jordan got me a name, Donnie, aspiring model trying to break into the industry. 26 years old, posted constantly on Instagram selfies, lifestyle shots, motivational nonsense about manifesting success and building your brand. Of course, Jordan also found plane tickets. Miami, 2 tickets scheduled for next month, first class, paid with my money. That night, lying in the hospital bed, I had a moment where I just broke. Not crying, just pure rage, the kind that makes your vision go white. I was alone, couldn't walk, could barely breathe, and my wife was planning vacation with another man using money I'd nearly died earning. That rage became cold calculation, crystal clear focus. I pulled out my phone and started planning. Not just the divorce, everything. Tia's best friend showed up at the hospital, Megan. I'd known her since we started dating. She was always cool, kindergarten teacher, had her life together. She walked into my room on day 9 carrying actual food from a real restaurant. Hey, Gunnar. Megan, what are you doing here? Heard you almost died. Figured someone should check on you since your wife apparently can't be bothered. She set the food down, pulled up a chair, and just stayed. How do you know? Tia posted on Instagram about needing me time while you were here. I called her out. She blocked me, so I figured I'd come see how you were actually doing. We talked for an hour. She asked real questions about the accident, the surgery, the recovery. Then she left, simple as that. She came back 3 days later, dropped off a care package, some books, decent snacks, phone charger, then left again. Why are you doing this? I asked during her 3rd visit. Because someone should. And because I need to tell you what's actually happening at your house. Tell me. Donnie's living there full time. His car's in your garage every single day. I drove by yesterday and saw them on your back deck grilling, acting like they own the place. Does everyone know? Everyone who matters? Tommy knows. Jordan knows. Your co-workers know. The only person who doesn't seem to know is you, because you're stuck in here. What are you going to do? She asked. Everything I have to. I pulled out my phone and accessed the joint bank account. Downloaded 8 months of statements. Tia had spent over $23,000 in 4 months. Fancy restaurants, hotels, jewelry, designer clothes, spa packages, first-class plane tickets. I also started recording phone calls. Every single one. My phone had a built-in call recorder. Downloaded the app, set it to automatic. Every conversation with Tia from that point forward got saved. Called a divorce attorney, found one online who specialized in brutal cases. Showed up at the hospital 2 days later. Carried himself like someone who enjoyed destroying people legally. "Let me make sure I understand," he said, flipping through notes. "Wife hasn't visited once. Told you to die faster. Draining accounts, obvious affair. Removed her wedding ring and she's on the deed. We refinanced. Her name got added." He nodded. "Tennessee is an equitable distribution state. But we've got ammunition. Abandonment during medical crisis, adultery, financial misconduct, emotional abuse. This is going to be fun. What do I need? Everything. Every missing dollar, every cruel comment, every skipped visit, bank statements, text messages, call logs, social media posts, photos, videos, documentation. Build me a war chest." I built him an armory. Jordan became my field operative. She drove by the house daily, took photos of Donnie's beat-up Nissan, documented arrival and departure times, found his social media accounts, downloaded everything before he could delete it. Donnie was posting modeling content constantly. Selfies, portfolio shots, lifestyle photos with inspirational captions, but Jordan noticed something in the backgrounds of several posts. My kitchen granite countertop pattern, the specific artwork on my living room wall, my back deck railing design. He was taking modeling shots and lifestyle content from inside my house, without realizing the details were visible. One caption from 2 weeks ago on a mirror selfie. "Upgraded my whole setup this year. New energy, new space, new mindset." Posted with my bedroom mirror clearly visible behind him. The attorney loved it. Meanwhile, the doctors had good news. My recovery was progressing faster than expected. The youth, the physical condition before the accident, the clean living, all of it was helping. Instead of 8 weeks, they estimated 6. 6 weeks and I'd be mobile enough to handle my business personally. I pushed harder in physical therapy. Every session hurt. Every movement reminded me what Tia had done while I was fighting to walk again. I used that turned pain into fuel. Week 6 came faster than expected. Doctors cleared me for discharge with restrictions. No heavy lifting, light duty only, physical therapy 3 times a week. Still dealing with significant pain and limited mobility, but functional enough to walk and drive short distances. I signed the discharge papers. Tommy picked me up. Megan was in the passenger seat. "Where to?" Tommy asked. "Home. I need to handle something." We drove to my house. Donnie's beat-up Nissan was in the driveway. 2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Of course he was there. We walked to the front door. I used my key, walked right in. The house looked different. Pictures of me were gone, replaced with photos of Tia and Donnie on vacation at restaurants living their best life. With my money, my dog Bear went absolutely insane when he saw me. German Shepherd, 5 years old, jumped up, nearly knocked me over, whimpering and spinning circles. I grabbed him, let him lick my face. "Hey buddy, I'm home." I heard voices upstairs, Tia and Donnie in my bedroom. Tommy looked at me. "Let's get this over with." I walked upstairs. Each step hurt. The spine wasn't fully healed, but anger is better than morphine sometimes. Pushed open the bedroom door. Tia was on the bed in workout clothes, scrolling her phone. Donnie was in my bathroom, flexing in the mirror, taking selfies. Both of them froze when they saw me. "Gunner," Tia's voice cracked. "What are you doing here?" "I live here." "What's this clown doing here?" Donnie walked out of the bathroom. Lean build, pretty boy face, that wannabe model look. Tried to look intimidating. "Look, man, Tia and I are together now. You need to accept that and move on. Move on from my house. She told me you guys were basically roommates. That this was her place too, so yeah, move on." He stepped closer, got in my space. Actually put his hand on my chest. "This is my space now. My girl, my life. You had your chance and you blew it being a workaholic who couldn't satisfy his wife." I looked down at his hand on my chest, then at him. "Remove your hand." You just got out of the hospital. You can barely stand, so how about you leave before... Did she tell you I've got cameras? I pointed to the corner of the bedroom. Motion activated, cloud storage. Been recording since the day I left for the hospital. Every night you've spent in my bed. Every morning you've walked around my house like you own it. All saved, all time-stamped. I didn't have cameras, but Donnie didn't know that. His face went white. Tommy moved into the doorway behind me. 6'2", 240, diesel mechanic arms, fresh from a full day's work. 0 injuries and looking very interested in how this was about to play out. Donnie's hand dropped from my chest. Donnie looked at Tia. She looked away. "Man, you need to leave," Donnie said, but his voice had lost the edge. "This is awkward for everyone." "Please!" Tia screamed. "Tell him, babe!" "You're right. It is awkward. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to grab your camera equipment and whatever other garbage you brought into my house, and you're going to leave now. Or what? Or I call the cops and have you arrested for trespassing. Then I send all those camera recordings to every modeling agency and casting director in Memphis. Show them their aspiring model has been living in a married woman's house, posting content from stolen property, accepting gifts bought with someone else's money. Wonder how the industry would feel about that." Donnie's jaw clenched. He wanted to push back, wanted to be the tough guy, but reality was sinking in. Tommy blocking the door, me with legal grounds, the cameras he thought existed, the social media evidence he'd posted himself. He looked at Tia. "You told me he was never coming back. He's early. Just stay, please." "Early?" Donnie's voice rose. "He got out of the hospital." "Tia, the hospital you told me he'd be in for months. You said he was basically paralyzed. You said we had time." "Donnie, please. What else did you lie about?" He grabbed his camera bag from the corner. "Was any of this real, or was I just your meal ticket while your husband recovered?" "It was real. I love you. I'm out. This whole thing is insane. You are not worth destroying my image over." Tia jumped up, following him. "Donnie, wait. Don't leave. He can't just..." Donnie hit the front door, threw his bag in the Nissan. Tia was in the driveway now, barefoot, crying, begging him to stay. He pulled out fast enough to leave rubber. I stood in my bedroom doorway, hand braced on the frame, trying to keep my breathing steady. Everything hurt. The walk up the stairs had pushed my limits. My back was screaming, but I was standing. Tommy was beside me. "You good?" "Been better, but I'm standing." Tia came back inside crying, real tears, panicking. She tried to push past me toward the bedroom. I blocked the doorway. "Gunnar, please let me explain." "Explain what?" "That you told me to hurry up and die, that you moved your ex into my house, that you spent $23,000 of our money on him." "I was confused. I made mistakes. You made choices, calculated choices." I pulled out my phone, called the attorney, put it on speaker. "It's done. She's here. He's gone. To start the filing." "Already done. Papers were filed this morning. She'll be served tomorrow." Tia's face went white. "You're divorcing me? You thought I wouldn't. But the house?" I started walking downstairs. She followed, still crying, still begging. "Gunnar, where am I supposed to go? I don't have anywhere." "You got nowhere to go tonight?" I stopped at the bottom of the stairs and turned to face her. "Fine. Garage apartment. You can stay there until the divorce finalizes and you figure out your next move." Her face went blank. "What? You heard me. Garage. That's where you told me I could sleep when I got out of the hospital. So that's where you're sleeping now. There's a bathroom out there, mini fridge, and a couch that folds out. You deserve less, actually." "You can't be serious." "Dead serious. I'm being generous. I could call the cops and have you removed entirely. This is my house, too. For now. We'll see what the judge says. But until then, you don't get to sleep in my bed, eat my food, or breathe my air. Garage. Take it or leave." Tommy and Megan were in the living room now. Megan's expression was unreadable, but there was something like satisfaction in her eyes. Megan and Tommy started moving Tia's stuff to the garage. Not out of the house completely, just to the converted garage apartment where she told me I could recover from nearly being paralyzed. Clothes, shoes, makeup, everything personal. Took about 2 hours. I mostly supervised while Tommy and Megan did the heavy lifting. My back couldn't handle much yet. Tia tried everything during those 2 hours. Crying, begging, promising to change, threatening legal action, guilt-tripping about our history. Then she shifted tactics. You're really going to throw away 7 years over one mistake? I was scared, Gunner. You were dying and I didn't know how to handle it. People do crazy things when they're scared. You weren't scared. You were shopping in Miami. She grabbed my arm. I pulled away. Don't touch me. I know what this is all about. It's that witch Megan who's trying to split us up. Why is she even here? Don't you dare say that about her. She's just trying to help. Help? She wants you for herself. She's been waiting for this. She showed up at the hospital when you couldn't be bothered. She brought food. She gave a damn. That's more than you ever did. Gunner, please, I'll do anything. I'll go to counseling. I'll cut Donnie off completely. I'll get a job. I'll prove I can change. Just give me another chance. I didn't say another word. Just kept directing Tommy and Megan. When we finished, I changed the locks, new deadbolts, new door handles. Tommy did the installation while I walked him through it. The garage apartment had a separate entrance. She could come and go without accessing the main house. Perfect. Lease ends when the divorce is finalized, I told her through the garage door. Not a day longer. You try to come in the main house, I call the cops. Understood? No response. Understood. Yes. Her voice was small, broken. Good. That night, I slept in my own bed for the first time in 6 weeks. Bear curled up next to me. Everything is quiet. Everything is mine again. Megan crashed in the guest room. Didn't ask, just stayed like she knew I needed someone around who wasn't going to abandon me. The dynamic was perfect in the worst possible way. Every morning, Tia had to walk past the main house to get to her car. Every morning, she'd see lights on in the kitchen, see me making coffee. See Megan's car in the driveway where Donnie's beat-up Nissan used to be. Jordan stopped by one afternoon about a week after I got home. Walked right past Tia coming out of the garage. Tia tried to say something. Jordan didn't even look at her. She's still living in the garage? Jordan asked when she got inside. Yep. Divorce isn't finalized yet. Judge said she can stay on the property until it's settled since her name's on the deed. So she gets the garage. Tommy came by that weekend to help me with some work on the back deck. We were out there grilling, having sodas, laughing about old stories, Bear running around the yard. I saw Tia watching from the garage window. She couldn't hear what we were saying, couldn't join us. Just had to watch life happening in the house she used to live in. The house she'd given away to her affair partner. The house that was mine again. Megan started coming over more often. Not every day, but regularly. She'd bring dinner sometimes. We'd watch movies, talk. Nothing serious yet, just comfortable, easy. But Tia could see her car, could see the lights on late, could see us on the couch through the living room window if she walked past at the right angle. One night, about 3 weeks after I got home, there was a knock on the front door. Megan was in the kitchen making pasta. I answered it. Tia stood there, hair messy, eyes red, looking rough. I need to use the shower. The one in the garage isn't working right. Please call a plumber. Gunner, not my problem. Figure it out. I started to close the door. She put her hand on it. Can I at least get on the Wi-Fi? I can't afford my phone bill this month and I need internet for job applications. No. Gunner, please, I'm trying to get my life together. I just need... What you need is to understand consequences. The garage has everything you need. Water, power, bathroom. That's more than you were going to give me. Behind me, Megan appeared in the hallway. Tia saw her. Their eyes met. The look on Tia's face was something else. Disbelief, rage, all of it hitting at once. Megan, what are you doing here? Megan didn't flinch. Hey, Tia, I'm making dinner. Need something? Tia's hands were shaking. You're staying here sometimes. That a problem? You were my best friend. Was past tense. You made your choices, I made mine. Tia looked at me, then at Megan, then at the house behind us, the home she used to live in, the life she used to have. This is what you want? Tia asked me, voice breaking. Her? After everything you did? Yeah. This is exactly what I want. Someone who shows up, someone who doesn't tell me to die faster, someone who gives a damn. I closed the door. Tia stood there for a minute. I could see her shadow through the frosted glass. Then she walked back to the garage. We ate dinner in silence, but it was a comfortable silence, the kind you have with someone who gets it. The first mediation session was scheduled for week 12. Tia showed up with her attorney. Expensive suit, designer bag, confident smile. She thought she had leverage because her name was on the deed. My attorney and I sat across from them. Irf's attorney started strong. My client is willing to overlook the hostile living conditions. If your client agrees to standard 50-50 division and immediate access to the main residence. Hostile living conditions? My attorney smiled. You mean the garage apartment your client specifically designated for my client to live in upon his hospital discharge? The same garage apartment she's now occupying? How is that hostile? Tia's attorney shifted in her seat. My client is essentially homeless. Your client has shelter, utilities, and bathroom facilities on property she partially owns at no cost during the divorce proceedings. That's more generous than most. She's living in a garage while her husband parades his new girlfriend through the marital home. His home, my attorney corrected, which he purchased 7 years before your client's name was ever on the deed. And regarding the new girlfriend allegation, my client is entitled to have guests in his own home. Unless your client would like to discuss who was living in that home while my client was hospitalized. Tia's face went red. Her attorney tried a different angle. Fine. Property division, 50-50 split of all marital assets. Like the 50-50 split of hospital visits, your client had 0. Personal matters aren't relevant to property division. Tennessee law disagrees. Abandonment during medical crisis is absolutely relevant. So is adultery. So is financial misconduct. My attorney pulled out his phone, hit play. Tia's voice filled the room. Honestly, Gunner, either die already or get better fast. This limbo thing is really inconvenient for my life right now. The recording was crystal clear. The color drained from Tia's face. Her attorney looked like she wanted to disappear. My attorney continued. We have 6 weeks of documentation. 0 visits, multiple recorded statements, evidence of ongoing adultery. Your client moved her boyfriend into marital property within days of the accident. He slid over printed screenshots. Donnie's Instagram posts with my kitchen visible. My living room artwork, my back deck, all time-stamped. Dated. Then the bank statements, credit card charges, hotel receipts, restaurant bills, the Miami trip, all highlighted. Tia's attorney pulled her aside for an emergency consultation. They came back looking defeated. We're prepared to offer 70-30. She keeps the house. He takes 70% liquid assets. No, I said. I want the house. Tia laughed. Actual laughter. You can't afford it without me. I paid cash for it originally. I can refinance solo with my income. Unlike you, I actually have steady employment and savings that weren't blown on an affair. My attorney slid over more documentation. Every charge analyzed, her spending versus her income. The math was brutal. Your client spent over $23,000 in 4 months on an affair while my client was hospitalized. A judge will eat her alive. The meeting ended. Tia crying, her attorney scrambling, my attorney smiling. We stepped outside. He looked satisfied. They'll settle. She knows she's screwed. Give it a week. He was right. 5 days later, her attorney called with an offer. Tia keeps her car, her personal items, $30,000 cash. I keep the house, my truck, bare retirement accounts. Remaining assets split 70-30 in my favor. She covers her own legal fees. Counter, I said. Everything you just said, but she refinances the house in my name only within 60 days, or I force a sale. And I want it in writing that Donnie Patterson is not allowed on the property ever again. And she moves out of the garage apartment within 2 weeks of signing. He called back 20 minutes later. They accepted. She must really want this over with. The divorce finalized 3 months later. The day Tia moved out of the garage was satisfying in a way I can't really describe. I watched from the kitchen window while she loaded her car. Megan was sitting at the counter with coffee watching too. Tia looked at the main house one last time before she drove away. Her face was a mess. Tears, rage, regret, all of it. Too late. That evening I walked out to the garage apartment. It was empty, cleaned out. She'd left the key on the counter. I stood there for a minute. This space, This exact space where she'd wanted me to live while I recovered from being paralyzed. Instead, she'd lived here. Watched life continue without her. Watched her best friend take her place. Watched everything she'd thrown away rebuild itself better. Poetic doesn't even begin to cover it. 6 months after the divorce finalized, standing in my house, fully mine again. Refinance solely in my name. Every room redone. New furniture. Fresh paint. Zero memories of Tia except the lesson she taught me. Bear sprawled on the new couch. Tommy and Jordan came over for dinner. Megan was there too. We'd been spending more time together but keeping it casual. No pressure, no rush, just seeing where things went naturally. "You look good," Jordan said. "Better than I've seen you in years." "I feel good." Back's at about 70%. Physical therapy's working. Back at work full-time. Light duty still? Nope. Full operations manager again. They even gave me a raise. Tommy helped set the table. Heard Tia's having a rough time. Not my problem anymore. Donnie's done trying to be a model. Someone sent screenshots of his Instagram posts to local photographers and agencies. You know, the ones where my kitchen and living room were visible in the background. Word spread fast in the Memphis modeling scene. Nobody wanted to work with him after that. Then his Instagram comments turned into a nightmare. "Nice kitchen, bro. Is that yours?" And imagine stealing someone's house for content over and over. He kept deleting comments, but they kept coming. Eventually, he just made his account private, then deleted it completely. His whole aesthetic was about success and upgrading his lifestyle, and everyone knew it was fake. He's working at a phone store in Cordova now, making $12 an hour. Still drives that beat-up Nissan, but now he can barely afford gas for it. Jordan was pouring iced tea. The modeling thing just died quietly. He wasn't getting callbacks before all this and definitely wasn't getting them after. Last I heard, he stopped talking about it entirely. Just another guy who thought he'd make it and didn't. Except this one torpedoed himself by shacking up with a married woman and posting evidence online. "She tried calling last week," Tommy added. 12 times. Wanted to apologize, see if you'd help her out financially. "She's got my number blocked." Desperate batch. Right on cue. My phone rang. Unknown number. I let it ring once, twice. On the third ring, I answered on speaker. "Gunner." Tia's voice, shaky, broken. "Gunner, please don't hang up." Everyone at the table went quiet. "What do you want, Tia?" I need help. I'm in a really bad place. My car got repossessed. I'm behind on rent at my parents' place. Donnie left and he took a bunch of my stuff. My credit's destroyed. I can't get approved for anything. I don't have anyone else to call. And that's my problem because we were married, because we had history, because I made mistakes, but I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Gunner. I was horrible to you, I know that. I was selfish and cruel and I ruined everything. I got caught up in something stupid with Donnie and it meant nothing. I threw away a good man for nothing. Tommy, Jordan, and Megan watched me waiting. I know I was awful. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm drowning here. I lost everything. I just need help to get back on my feet. Maybe $5,000 just to cover what I owe my parents and get my car back. I'll pay you back, I promise. I've been working on myself, understanding what I did wrong. I want to make amends, not for anything in return, just because it's right. I let the silence stretch. Could hear her breathing. Could hear the desperation. Please, Gunner. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm begging you. You were always the strong one, the responsible one. You always had your life together. I'm asking you to be that person one more time. Please. You're right about one thing. What? You don't deserve it, so you'll help me. No. Gunner, please. I'm living with the consequences every single day. I lost everything because of what I did. Figure it out. Like I had to figure out how to survive what you put me through. There was a long pause. Then her voice got smaller, quieter. I'm still having nightmares about living in that garage. Watching you and Megan through the windows. Hearing you two laugh while I was out there in the cold. Seeing what I threw away every single day. It was torture. You mean the garage you told me I could have when I was paralyzed? Yeah. How'd that work out for you? Gunner, I'm begging. I hung up. Tommy was grinning. Jordan raised her glass of iced tea to reality. Megan just smiled. You did the right thing. I raised mine to surviving. The phone started ringing again. Tia. I blocked the number. Later that evening, after Tommy and Jordan left, Megan stayed behind helping me clean up. You really doing okay? She asked. Yeah, actually better than I've been in years. Good, you deserve it. She grabbed her coat and headed for the door. Megan, wait! She turned. Want to grab dinner this weekend? Like an actual date, not just hanging out? Thought you'd never ask. 1 year since the divorce finalized. Coming up on 18 months since the accident. I'm 34 now. Back to mostly healthy. Back's at about 75%. Still hurts when it rains. Still have limitations I didn't have before. Some days are better than others, but I'm functional. I work full weeks, go to the gym when I can, hike with Bear on good days. The house is completely mine. Every room reflects me now. New everything. New furniture, new paint, new memories, nothing left of Tia except the expensive lesson. The garage apartment, I converted it into a home gym. Bought all new equipment, weights, bench, treadmill, the works. Every time I work out there, I think about where Tia ended up versus where I ended up. Best renovation I ever did. As for me and Megan, we're together now officially. Took us 4 months to make it real. She wanted me to heal first, physically and mentally. Didn't rush anything, just let things develop naturally. Turns out having someone who actually shows up when it matters changes everything. She's good people, stable, kind, shows up when she says she will, texts back, makes plans and keeps them. Turns out you can lose everything and still end up ahead. Everything she tried to destroy, I rebuilt better. And she got to watch it happen from a garage.